Listen, man, I know exactly what you do. Yeah. This stripe means I've known you guys for a while.
You know, the idea of cop watch is to make sure that we follow the rules.
It's fine to do cop watch activities, and no one's tripping on that. No one's going to go, "Oh, the big bad cop watch." We're not worried about that.
I absolutely understand. I'm always very supportive of what you guys do.
You go out there, you make sure that the police don't violate anyone's civil rights, and that's mainly your job.
All other districts can disregard any units not 35. Other than District 1 cars can disregard 25. We have a lot of people out here. Have a couple of cars continue. Road closed. Again, got all the District 1 cars continuing.
Now, on the ground!
That's why I got you on camera! All these goddamn kids, I want to do it like that! You got it on camera! Everything! Hey, I'm taking the popcorn up and down! That's bullshit! Y'all coming flying through here, all these kids up here! Y'all ain't got no respect for the kids! All these goddamn kids! All these kids!
Well, do you know what your rights are when you're stopped or questioned by a police officer?
We're facing, I think, the most sophisticated propaganda machine that's ever been created in the United States media, right? It's like amazing production standards. They dominate the airwaves. They have all this high tech, so that 24 hours a day, most Americans are getting a message that's opposite of the one we want to send.
The police know that they're not supposed to violate the rights of citizens, but the overwhelming majority of these violations happen in a setting where nobody seems to be paying any attention. Showing concern for what the police do in our communities is a small but real deterrent against police misconduct.
You have the right to observe what the police are doing in your community. And that's one way you as a citizen, you as a person, can help make the situation better.
Cops are public servants. They're here to serve you. And if they're disserving you, then you need to change it. And this is one of the ways that you can change it.
We have cultivated a consciousness in our community where everybody's cop watching. So they don't really know who the organizers are and who the just regular citizens are.
A wise man once told me, it ain't what you do, it's how you do it. We let the police know that cop watch is here, but they never know what cop watch is. So they'll never know when cop watch is watching. So really, we keep ourselves on a hush-hush so that they can do their thing, and as soon as they do it, we there to catch them, because we everywhere.
Police review is really important. I mean, it's critical that that arm of the state that has the guns and the clubs be restrained, and it's a very remarkable thing. And sort of the signature characteristic of a real democracy is that there is restraint on the police.
I think it's important that people realize that there are different levels of direct action. You know, you can have a demonstration, workers go on strike, but on a very micro level, the direct action of just walking up to what they call a crime scene and observing the police mishandling a youth actually is a deterrent for this type of activity.
Well, you know, cop watch is kind of based on the fact that we have a right to observe the police. The police are are community servants. They're employees of our local government, and they're operating in an official capacity in public places. And that means as citizens, we have a constitutional right to watch what they're doing, and we take advantage of that by recording what they're doing with video cameras and with the written word.
Cop watch is the streets. You know what I'm saying? It's the community, man. You know, it's just people that's just tired of things that's going on everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Where they may live at and want to make a change.
By not fearing the system, you are able to change it.
Y'all crazy! Y'all know that's wrong! Y'all dead wrong!
Cop watching is exactly how it sounds. You know, it's you watching the cops. And not just the normal you watching the cops like you're sitting on your front stoop or out your bedroom window. You're exercising your right as a citizen to see any type of arrest or any type of action that the police are having, you know, and at the same time, you're watching it for your own self, but you're videotaping it, you're monitoring it, you know, as it goes on. So if anything happens where somebody needs to be held accountable or a question comes up, you're there. So it's that type of watching.
I'm very committed to civilian review, and I'm very committed to cop watching and the spreading of the gospel of watching the police, not walking away, not shielding your eyes, not turning away from it.
So cop watching is a consciousness that we have cultivated in our community over the years. We've conducted hundreds of Know Your Rights trainings for school children, for community groups. We hold forums, we have protests, we publish a newsletter, we maintain a webpage, and slowly by slowly we're able to educate the public about police issues in their community, about what's really happening.
However, if nothing else, Cop Watch can and will and does inform citizens of their rights as citizens, inform citizens of what is proper police conduct and what is improper police conduct, inform citizens of what you can do to protect yourself, you know, in case you get in any type of predicament with the police.
Now, cop watching, that function that we carry out in observing the police, does not have to be limited to members of Cop Watch per se. Anyone can watch the police.
We started Cop Watch in March of 1990 because there was a group of us who wanted to work with homeless people, and what we noticed was that even more than food, even more than clothes, what they needed was some protection from the police. Police were attempting to rid the downtown area of homeless people, and they were using a variety of means to do that.
I know I hate this game. And if you're doing something right, you don't need to block the camera, right? You know? You know?
What's also happening is that we needed to educate the community, because there was one section of the community that was saying the police were being brutal, they were violating people's rights, that they were harassing people, and there was a whole other segment of the community that had no idea that this was going on.
Get up. Get up and get, I'll pull you up. Get up now.
Cop Watch was meaning to be like a neighborhood watch, except the point wasn't to organize against our neighbors, it was to organize our neighbors to protect themselves from abusive cops.
Was that necessary?
Yep. Are you necessary?
Yes.
We set out to document this activity in order to protect the rights of homeless people, as well as to educate the public about what was actually happening. Early on, we committed ourselves to the concept of nonviolence because we needed to gain the confidence of the community and let them know that we're not out there to stir up trouble, that we're out there to document and advocate for people's rights.
Do you mind this?
No, I don't mind.
Okay, hang in there.
So for the sake of the community, as well as the safety of our cop watchers, as well as the conduct of the police, we felt that it was very important to assert that we have no intention of interfering and that we'll do as much as we can to ensure the safety of the officers, ourselves, and the person who's been stopped, all the while asserting our rights.
So what are you being charged with, Dan? Did they tell you?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm being charged with yet.
You have a right to know.
Yeah.
Through all these different means that we have of communicating our message, I think the police accountability